Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. So, listen, I thought I'd make a couple videos and talk about some of the topics that I cover in my book. I'm still talking about my book. Why? Because it just released last week. Anyway, the main topic of this book is mindfulness, which is multifaceted and very complex. And it also occurs to me that not everybody knows what mindfulness means, and mindfulness has become kind of a buzzword. And when words or phrases become buzzwords, they get a little bit diluted and then their meaning gets lost. And I don't want that to happen with mindfulness because it really is central to being able to foster healthy relationships of any kind. So let's talk about it. So, what is mindfulness? What the heck are you talking about, Emily? Well, let me tell you. So, John Kabat-Zinn, and if you don't know who that is, he is kind of like the granddaddy of modern mindfulness in America, right? He's the professor emeritus of medicine and the creator of the Center for Mindfulness in Medicine, Healthcare, and Society at the University of Massachusetts. His definition of mindfulness is very simple: awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Easy peasy, right? Totally. On paper, sure thing. Except let's kind of unpack that. So, awareness that arises requires observation. Observation requires patience and curiosity. And observation requires you to say no to your assumptions and to actually look at the truth. The other thing about awareness that arises is it has nothing to do with the surface observation. What we see on the surface is rarely the truth. We have to excavate for the truth. And what does that require? Observation, allowing that awareness to arise. So that's the first part, right? By paying attention. So humans don't pay attention very well. And we're actually wired that way. It has to do with our primal brains. I talk all about that in the book. But it does have to do with our primal brains. We're constantly scanning. Are we in danger? Are we not? So you could be like at a coffee shop with a friend and you're catching up, talking about life. They're telling you a crazy story and you're listening to them, but your eyes will dart to the door. Who's that came in? Looking down at your phone. Did somebody just text me? You're looking over at the barista because a noise happened. Or you're watching my cat walk across my desk. So we're not always paying attention, which means we're not giving a lot of space and time to what it is that we should be observing to let that awareness arise in the present moment. So in the present moment is right now and only right now. But a lot of us, we don't sit in the right now. We sit in maybe conversations that we have to have later on, or some event that's coming up that we're thinking about, we're worried about, we're anticipating, we're excited about, but our brain is there. Or maybe your brain is in conversations you had yesterday and the day before, or some embarrassing thing that happened in 8th grade. Is that just me? And then the last piece is non-judgmentally. And let me tell you, the one thing that human beings are really, really good at is judging. And not because we're assholes. And I know part of you is saying, yeah, but there are assholes out there. And maybe there are assholes out there. But again, is that a snap judgment? Have you really allowed awareness to arise? Are you thinking in assumptions and stereotypes? The thing with judgment is we do it all the time. And it goes back to our primal brain, which again, I talk about a lot in the book. And if we encounter someone or some situation that we perceive immediately to not be okay or different or strange, that will set off our primal brain and we will make a snap judgment. And so if you don't think you judge, I have a challenge for you. I want you to observe yourself the next time you're in line at Dunkin' or Starbucks or wherever you get your coffee. And if you don't do coffee, then I want you to observe yourself the next time you're in line at the grocery store, at Target, whatever. And I want you to actually pay attention to how often you do the scan on somebody, or you hear some child screaming in an aisle, or you see someone who looks like they're a weirdo or whatever. What are the immediate thoughts that you have about that person or that situation? That's a judgment. We do it all the time and we don't think about how we do it. So that's the first bit about mindfulness. I'm going to come back with a couple more videos and I'm going to unpack the 9 pillars of mindfulness. It's all in the book if you want to read it. If you don't want to read it, you can watch these little video snippets and we're going to talk about it. But I really do feel like we have become an incredibly mindless society, and not because we are jerks, not because we suck. It's we're incredibly busy. We become survivalist in a sense because we've got so many things to do. We're juggling activities, jobs, kids activities. We're trying to do self-care. We're trying to get enough protein. We're trying to get enough sleep. And we're sort of trying to work out. There's too much going on. And we really sort of narrow in because we're so stressed out. And when we narrow in, we become mindless and we don't have broad perspectives. So I'm just here to add a little bit of perspective and to maybe help us become a little bit more mindful. Anyway, I hope you have a really good day, and I hope spring is on the way wherever you are. And I'll see you in another video.